Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about Marathon. And it would seem that there's been a lot of positivity around the game so far. It has actually found its player base. I believe they have at least 400,000 concurrent players on Steam, which is pretty damn good. And they sold, I believe, 1.2 million copies within the past 3 weeks, which is decent. But when you compare that to Arc Raiders, who sold 12 million, it's like night and day. And let's not forget, Sony paid over $1 billion for this acquisition to have Bungie, and they were already like on a downward spiral with Destiny 2. And I believe in their contract they also had a thing where if they didn't pull their weight or if they didn't meet like their quarterly, that heads from Sony would start to step in and take over. So that's constantly been looming over their heads during development, which is kind of, which makes sense. Makes sense. It's just business. But it also sucks that they did pull through with the final shape in their expansion. Did a fantastic job. Out of all the DLCs that me and you ran through, I thought it was damn good.
It was great,
probably
but
the
they
best
didn't
one.
save jobs.
It did not save jobs, which is it sucks. I mean, I feel like in this industry there is no such thing as like job security whatsoever. That's completely out the window. The moment you get hired, you may as well start saving
Well,
hard.
I think as a developer, there's no loyalty to it. As an executive, you can literally run a franchise into the ground and you'd be fine.
Right, because they're just going to recycle you through all of the companies. I mean, you might not have done well here, but maybe you'll do well here at this company. Your skills didn't match, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't like any of that. But me personally, even though the game does have a lot of positive sentiment and it has found its audience,
Right.
for me personally, I did not. It just didn't hit for me. I will say that the art style itself is probably the strongest pull for me personally. I just love the look of it. Like it like that tech look, and like everything just looks like a computer terminal.
Well, because you like that cyberpunk
Yes,
feel,
absolutely. I love
and
all
there's
of
not
that.
a
Like
bad thing. It's a cool style. Like I will
yeah,
give them that. It's very different. There's nothing else on the market that kind of touches that vein, other than cyberpunk. But
right.
in the kind of the genre it's playing in, I do like the fact that they went out, they committed. Let's call it that. Like they went for
Absolutely, yeah.
it, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, like those neon colors. I just think it just looks fantastic. And along with that, like the guns, they look like just the design, almost like they're modular, like they've been put together, like 3D printed, which they have, based on the lore of the game. And like always, Bungie always does a fantastic job when it comes to like gun design,
Right.
and even with like art. I say this loosely, even with like their art direction, even though they have stolen in the past. But yeah, like that they definitely know how to make an FPS. But
Right.
I just think also, I think what's actually the problem for me is that I just don't I just don't like extraction shooters, and I was really hoping that this one would hit because Arc Raiders really just kind of turned me off like drastically. Like once we hit like that 60-hour mark of getting our workbenches up, like I was just done. There was nothing for me. Um,
Well, the community turned, and that's a
yeah,
totally
yeah,
different story.
the community turned, and it just became more about PvP more than just us against the machines. Like that sentiment changed rather quickly. Um, but even though this can be seen as kind of a success for Bungie, I'm really concerned about like the future of Destiny, or even if we're on the potential of getting a Destiny 3. Because even though they did make 1.2 million, they Sony has still lost 204 million since acquiring them because just their latest DLCs and projects have
They've fallen
haven't
off.
been they've fallen off. And like you say, during the development of Marathon, like the morale was really low. um, I remember, during one of their live streams, this was during the whole like art stealing debacle. Mugs was just trolling them in chat just about the art. Nobody was paying attention. You could read the stress in their face. Like the team was just done. They were just trying to push through. Just trying to do their job. Sorry, I was trying not to cough. It's the pollen season is so bad here. It's another reason why my voice probably does not sound the same. But yeah, Sony spent a lot of money for Bungie, 3.6 billion to be exact, and lost 204 million. They only grossed 55 million at launch when they had a 250 million-dollar budget. So
Well,
it's just not looking good for them just overall.
but you also have to understand, why did they sell? You know what I mean? Like, if we look at the whole back end of things, the studio was not doing great, and they bought it. Initially, you are going to take a hit, right?
Yes.
Like, just looking, if you're an executive with any type of finger on the pulse, you weren't doing great, and your gaming community, they'll support you, but they've openly been complaining for a while of the
Right,
quality,
yeah.
right? And you look back last year, like with the final shape, do you tell them if we do really good, it'll save jobs? They do really good, makes a profit, and you fire them. The morale's low. It sucks. And
Right.
then you want to try and get into this, you're gonna have to take some of the lumps. Like, you've got to get past Marathon. Like, Marathon is a life raft that you need to kind of latch on to a little bit to try and save some grace to potentially bring out a Destiny 3. Now, if Destiny 3 bombs or any iteration of it, that's the end of that studio. Like, that's completely
Right.
done.
I don't see them coming back from that. Also, another thing that I was concerned about, just with marathons, that Destiny has built up like this massive audience, like really
Cult
loyal
following.
fans. Yeah, cult following, strong.
And I get it. It's a
Where people
good
have based
game.
their yeah, it's a good game. People have based their channels around this one game. Like their income is solely from Destiny. And one thing I was kind of concerned about was like, would this same player base, who is mostly known for like PVE type gameplay, would they be interested in jumping and just going straight into PvP? Because I know, I don't know if Crucible was as popular, or I don't know like the percentage of players who were more concerned about playing Crucible over just the Destiny's general gameplay. But I always thought it was more of a smaller community. But apparently, 78% of Marathon players have also played Destiny. So they have recouped, most of their audience, which is good.
Right.
Um, but also, what is the longevity of this game? Like, where are we going with this? And also, will Bungie be able to consistently put out content for this game at a good enough pace to keep that audience engaged? Because it has to maintain this flow.
Well,
And the people, and go ahead, I'm sorry.
and no. And I want to tag on to that, because there is a status quo with Destiny's updates, right? Like, just from the company in general. Like, when they release something, whether you hate it or you love it, they do provide a lot of content, right?
Right.
And it's new legendaries, it's new story. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. Now, do I want to pay $40 for it every time it comes out? Not me in
Not really.
particular.
Not at all.
Not me, but I'm also, I buy skins in games, so just not my appeal. But are you going to be able to wow, words are tough. Are you going to be able to dedicate that type of an effort to this game to keep it afloat? Because there is a status quo to the player base when you start to do stuff like that. And
Right.
I'll lean a little bit over to Path of Exile, right? Like, I'm a newer Path of Exile player, considering to some, right? But looking at the way they've been developing the first game, all of that attention is rolled into the second game. So, like, are you going to Are you going to change the cadence? Are you going to change the quality? That's really what I want to see in the longevity. Because that first DLC comes out, if it's rough, it's going to be tough.
Right. Like, yeah, they definitely they're under a lot of criticism right now. Like, I don't think the general. I think Marathon has boosted them up a little bit because people who play the game really love the game. Some people say this is probably the best shooter that Bungie has made. Like it's getting
Which
high praise for his gameplay. I don't
is
understand it.
wild to think about,
Yeah,
but okay.
right. But but I will say the gunplay itself is good. I'm not gonna lie. Anytime Bungie does FPS games, it's always great. I always think the gunplay is fantastic. Just the movement itself
And
wasn't pulling me in.
I will give it not so much criticism. It's a cool game. It's
Yeah,
just not my game. But
right,
it's a cool game. Like as a shooter, it doesn't appeal to me, but I see the appeal of the game. I hope
right.
it does well. I really do. I hope Bungie bounces back like a Bungie. But they're walking a very fine line with it, and it's tough to see.
Right, because I'm also, really interested in seeing what Sony's moves are with the studio, because it's wavering. Also, like 70% of the sales are on Steam, and I don't know if you read this lately, but Sony is like pulling their exclusives away from PC or starting to.
That's a
And so,
dangerous move.
yes, and because they're trying to retain. They want more people, they want to maintain that PlayStation brand, get people to buy consoles. And so you got like 70% of your share over on PC and on Steam. And I believe I want to say Steam takes 30%. I think
Yeah,
that's
but
how much they, but
you taking away, and one thing I will say about PC players, they're some of the most dedicated fan base
oh,
that you could
absolutely.
possibly tap into, especially if it's a good game and you get modders involved. Like
Right,
your game will have so much legs pulling, and I understand there's probably a financial reason behind it, and that's spreadsheets I don't care about. But losing a Steam player just seems like you're going to regret that in the long run somehow. Because even if
right.
you look at Ghost of Tsushima for PlayStation to the PC, those PC players were craving that game. And they
Right,
waited till absolutely the last minute to release it on there and just generate hype coming into the next game. Like
right,
you prolong that game's success rate by having it on Steam.
right, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what Sony's like motive is for that, but I know it's
Money.
mostly just money. That's it.
Money.
That's the only motive. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Sony's not excited about most of their money going towards that platform. They want to retain a lot of that money on like PlayStation and through the PlayStation Store. But yeah, it'll be really interesting in the future what happens to the studio. I don't want them to go. I think they're probably the most talented studio we have out there. I just wish they would stop laying off talent because that's what has gotten them to this point. So why do you keep like dispersing all of these people like out into nowhere? Like I'm pretty sure you've discouraged some of these artists from even trying to go back into the game. I wouldn't. Why would I bother going back into the like the gaming sphere or
I don't
doing
know.
anything in gaming development? I'm
I
sorry.
don't
Yeah,
know.
I need something with some stability. But
Gaming development in general just doesn't sound fun. I need somebody to
right,
do it. I couldn't do it.
right. I don't have anything else to say. Do you have any last
Nope.
thoughts?
Not at all.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments what you think. Let us know if you're enjoying Marathon. Do you love it or you hate it? Let us know what you think about Bungie's future. I'm definitely interested in knowing what you guys think in the comments. But above all else, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss an episode, and we'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.